Hey guys, welcome back to another makeup artist vlog. There is going to be makeup artist content in here, but I did want to start off this vlog on a little bit of a lower note. I've been having a very interesting last few days, very drama filled, and it's not anything to do with my makeup artist career or my clients or anything. It hits home a little bit more than I'd like it to. I got a phone call Tuesday evening because that was when I went to my office job. After I got off from work, I got a phone call from my mom and she sounded awful. She sounded so bad. She sounded really groggy and almost like she was sick. It was very confusing to me because I had just gone over to her house the day before and she was fine. So I said, "What's going on? You don't sound good, you know?" And she goes, "Well, I'm actually in the hospital." And I'm like, oh my gosh. So my mom is like in her 70s. She doesn't just call 911 or something if it's not like a super serious emergency. When she said she was in the hospital, I was like, oh shoot, like something's really going on. She thought it was food poisoning originally, but she started to feel cramping and then started getting nauseous and everything. She slept on it for a little bit, and then about 2 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, she called an ambulance. They took her to the hospital, they diagnosed it, did a CAT scan and everything, and ended up being that she has pancreatitis. This is something that I had to look up because I didn't exactly know what it was. I looked it up and it basically is when your pancreas is inflamed. It normally happens with people who drink a lot of alcohol, but she lives her life completely sober. She doesn't drink alcohol at all, like doesn't touch it, doesn't like it. Luckily, it's not something that would necessarily kill you unless it's untreated. She spent the last 2 nights in the hospital and then I took her home yesterday. I thought she was going to be spending another night in the hospital and get it released today. I actually contacted the gal that did my flowers for my wedding. So I explained to her what was going on yesterday. I gave her like an hour and a half to notice, honestly, and I was like, hey, would you by any chance have availability to assemble like a really small bouquet of flowers? And so she goes, actually, I can have it done. And I was like, oh my gosh, perfect. So I had to swing by the florist's house yesterday to go grab these flowers, and I don't even know how in the world florists transport flowers. It is so stressful. I was trying to turn the slowest that I possibly could when I was driving, but they still kind of flopped over. I even used my purse and my jacket to kind of wedge them in between. She even gave me a little cardboard cutout box to set the vase into, but I think it was just top heavy. And so when I took the flowers out, when I got to the hospital, there was water all over my floor. But my mom really appreciated them, and then I had her just like carry them on her lap on the way home yesterday. So I drove my mom home yesterday. She got all settled in. I made sure she was good. And then I think today one of her neighbors is taking her grocery shopping because she still eats softer food still. It's just becoming like a very like hectic time trying to see her now. And unfortunately, this was not one of the weekends that I had completely off. That was pretty much what happened. But I gotta actually head out to a massage appointment. Okay, I'm on my phone because my batteries in my camera would not charge, and I, for some reason, cannot find the 4th battery. Anyways, that massage was greatly needed. I was so tight right in through the center of my back and in my shoulder blades, and it's so bad, guys. Whenever you're a makeup artist, nobody ever tells you how physically demanding that it is. Hey! Hi, buddy. How are you? Huh? This battery was in my purse the whole dang time. Ugh. I'm gonna go ahead and play with my dogs because my dog is like getting in my face right now. Look at this. I need to go play with her. I need to get myself some breakfast, and then I'll probably go ahead and just edit the videos for a while and then organize my kid a little bit later. Yeah, so I was definitely supposed to have breakfast, but instead I just made myself a HelloFresh meal. I'm not sponsored, by the way. I know a ton of YouTubers are. My husband and I have been doing it for probably the last maybe 4 years or so. It's been a really long time, honestly. And we haven't ever discontinued the meal service. It's honestly really great. I want to start depotting a little bit more things in my makeup kit because some things are like kind of more inconvenient to use. If you guys have been on my channel for a little bit, you know that the secondary artist that I usually hire to go to weddings with me, her name's Mallory. Well, unfortunately, apparently she is not going to be doing weddings any longer after this year. So I'm so sad about it, but I do have another gal that has helped me with a wedding before and does amazing work. She's gonna be the one that's kind of going to almost be like my replacement for Mallory. Problem is though, she doesn't normally do weddings like Mallory did. So I don't know if I would ever necessarily be getting jobs from her like I do with Mallory, but I do really appreciate her stepping in and helping with these larger bridal parties. I have no idea where the hell people are coming up with like 12 people on one side, because it stresses me out even dealing with the friends that I have. Since Mallory is no longer going to be doing weddings, she ended up giving me a couple of things that she's not going to use anymore for her kit. She ended up giving me these airless pump bottles. I've had airless pump bottles before. Problem is though, they've really not been like super efficient because sometimes they get jammed or they get stuck or something. That's why I started using like the squeeze bottles that I do. But I think I might try to transport my foundations back into these, as dumb as that's going to sound. I like the fact these are clear. The bottles that I have right now, let me show you guys. Like you see how they're not completely clear, they have a little film over them. That's what I don't like, because I like to be able to see the colors that I'm picking up. The other thing that she gave me is this whole entire bag of lip gloss tubes. These are what the tubes look like. I want to actually put these eye bases inside of these tubes so I can just squeeze them out really easily. And I also have like 2 of the Juvia's Place ones too. So those 5 are going in the little lip gloss tubes. I'm probably not going to be explaining like what I'm doing or anything. I'll probably just do a little video montage and lay over some music, and we're gonna get onto it. Okay, as of now, I have pretty much assembled the majority of the NARS foundations that I have. They are right in here. And now since the tubs are a little bit skinnier, I can fit more in one pocket too, but they are a little bit taller. So I probably will eventually get like shorter ones, but I think the airless pumps are gonna work fine. And then that way I won't have to worry about wasting any product. That's the only thing that's bad about these, is that you do waste quite a bit of product since you can't get the product out of the top and the bottom. I think I'm going to reheat some more chili, eat that because I am getting hungry again. And then I'm going to get myself ready because I have a client that's going to come at 4:15. As you can tell, I got everything set up. I'm all ready to go for my client. She gets here probably in about 10 minutes or so. I have on this white knit sweater. I feel like this is like a go-to comfy sweater for me. Have on some jeans and then also some white tennis shoes. I usually go pretty casual with makeup artistry stuff anymore. I just feel like dressing up all in black just isn't the vibe anymore. I do it sometimes still, but to be totally honest, like I just kind of am slacking a little bit. Also, I decided to do a full face of makeup and do lashes. I did get the Ardell Nakeds 424s to try out. They're pretty much like a fluffier version of the Demi Wispies. However, the last wedding vlog that I uploaded, I could not get them on like 2 people because they were very, very hard to work with. It's a no-go, and the 424s like will not repurchase. I like the 420s and the 421s a lot better. Also, I think my client just pulled up, so I gotta go. Okay, done with the makeup application. It went so well. She absolutely loved how it turned out. Now I just have to clean up my stuff because I have a hot mess going on here. I think that's probably about it. Guys, I am so freaking tired. I need to do my skincare routine to get a little pep in my step this morning. I always like to pull my hair back here so it doesn't get in my face. I'm going in with the Evian facial spray. And I'm not gonna lie, this brand did send me all of these skincare products. but I have personally really enjoyed them so far. It's basically pronounced dermatology, but it's pretty much like a shortened version without all the vowels in there. But I'm gonna go in first with their pre-cleansing oil. It's to gently melt away makeup, excess oil, and buildup. So I usually use this morning and night. Now with cleansing oils, I usually like to go in with a cleanser on top of them too, just so I have like a double cleanse sort of system, especially if I'm getting rid of makeup. But this morning, since I don't have any makeup on my face and I got rid of it all last night, I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with this guy first. Going to do about 3 pumps on my hand, and then I like to go in with a little bit of water. It'll turn it into like a milky kind of consistency. Then I'm gonna put it all over my face and try not to get it on my watch. It doesn't make your face feel super greasy or super oily. Some of the cleansing oils I feel like just tend to leave this buildup even after you remove them with water, which is very annoying, and makeup doesn't sit well on top of it, but I don't have an issue with that with this one. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have extremely sensitive skin or anything, so not a lot of products actually irritate my skin, but given the texture and also the ingredients inside of the products too, I feel like it would be very good for sensitive skin. Honestly, the texture of my skin has like greatly improved since I started using this, like maybe not even a week ago. So this is the Nidaless serum that I'm going in with next. This full facial serum safely targets the appearance of fine lines around the mouth, eyes, and forehead using a revolutionary formula, deeply hydrate and restore skin's natural delicate barrier for a more youthful appearance. The directions are to apply 4 to 5 drops into fingers and smoothly over face and neck, allowed to absorb before applying additional products, can be used twice a day or as directed by a physician. And it's just clear, but it just feels very smooth and very hydrating. And it almost feels like you're putting like a very slippery water on your face. The last step I'm going in with is this universal tinted moisturizer with SPF 46. This is the only product that I kind of wish would be a little bit different. So I'm not really a fan of tinted moisturizers. I don't know why. I'd rather use like a BB cream or like a CC cream or something like that. It does come out and then it's supposed to adapt to the color of your skin, which I definitely think it does. Like it looks like this, but I can't figure out if you're supposed to use this like right after your skincare or if you're supposed to use this after the primer, because they did send me as primer too. I just honestly don't really feel like talking about the primer. I'm not really a fan of very, very silicone based primers. I'd rather have like grippy primers or ones that are more hydrating or something. The last thing, and this is probably like one of my favorite things that they sent me only because I love eye masks and eye treatments. This is the Dermatology Brightening Eye Masks. They look like this. You have this lid on top with a little scooper to get out the eye mask. You're gonna open it just like normal. This is the rose gold looking eye masks. They're very pretty. Apply it underneath the eyes, and then they just work like normal eye gels. I do prefer the Shiseido Benefiance ones a little bit better, only because they're made out of a cloth-like material, and they have almost like a lotiony serum kind of eye cream on them, so they don't slip and slide all over your eyes. I'm not like a super big fan of like the gel like eye masks, but I'm an eye mask person in general. What you're gonna do is you're going to put it right on top, and it almost vacuum seals itself. You push it down all the way, make sure the edges are completely tight, and then that way it won't spill out of the bottom. How genius is that? So like you can travel around with it and then not have to worry about your serum being all over your luggage. I've seriously had these sets of brushes here since Monday. And then yesterday, of course, I did an appointment. So then I have 3 sets of brushes there, and I have to do 7 people for a wedding tomorrow. So I gotta get these brush sets clean. Oh my gosh, meditation, it's one of the best things. I got out of the habit of doing it for a really long time, but honestly, like I need to incorporate it back in my life again because it just really is nice to be alone with yourself and your thoughts and your feelings. I feel like I'm a lot more productive whenever I meditate in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and eat something now, I think. I've pretty much been editing the last couple of hours and I feel like I needed to actually get up and do something, so I gave myself a little bit of an ab workout. Then I just got myself some lunch, played with my dogs a little bit some more, so now they're pooped. I need to assemble my touch-up kits for tomorrow. I actually got a phone call, I think it was on either Monday or Tuesday of this week. I got a phone call from a number that I don't know. I normally don't answer the phone if I don't know the number because I get spam phone called like so often. I picked up the phone and it was actually the mother of the bride who was calling, and she was asking me if her mom, so it would be the bride's grandma, if she could add on after the mom's application who's the last person to go. And I said, yeah, that's fine. And she asked me if that was too many people because that totals 7 people and the bride already added on another person to begin with. Like there was 5 originally. So this wedding's kind of just grown as it's progressed, which is fine. I might do 8 just in case. I don't know if anybody else would possibly want to be added on. And I have these mints that I got off of Amazon, so I'm gonna stick those in there. I used to carry the mini Tic Tacs and Amazon ran out of them and I cannot find them again and it really makes me sad. Then I have these single-use Neutrogena wipes that I include in everybody's touch-up kits. Now I have all this stuff together. I'm gonna get out a Sharpie and then label the tops of the jars. So these are for just lipsticks, but then I do lipstick and powder for the brides. So I just put everybody's names on the outside of the jars because everybody's touch-up kits looks very similar and I don't want people like double dipping or not able to find their own touch-up kit. For the grandma, I don't know what her name is, so I'm just gonna leave it blank and then just carry the 2 extra. Now to assemble them, I'm gonna put in some business cards. Then for the bride, I'm gonna include some oil blotting sheets. And it actually is the last ones that I have, so I'll have to get more after this. And then I usually get some bobby pins, and this bride does have dark hair, so I'm gonna use a dark bobby pin. And then I'm gonna put that right through here. Stick this in the bag, and then I'm gonna fill her little jar up with powder. Then I'm using the one size translucent powder. Give my brides a little bit of powder. I also don't give them a ton, I just give them enough to fill up the bottom of the container. Then I'm gonna stick that inside of the kit. Give her a couple of doe foot applicators to touch up lips. Also, everybody asked if I fill up the lipstick container right now, and they're like, how do you know what lipstick you're gonna put on people? I don't fill them up right now. I fill them up when I get on site after I do the makeup applications. I usually also don't fill this up with a ton of product. Like, you should not be filling up this entire jar full of their lip product. Otherwise, that's gonna be like a whole entire tube of lipstick. So what I usually do is I'll use my spatula and probably maybe do like a couple of scoops of it, I want to say, and then put this in here. You just basically need enough for them to be able to touch up their lips about twice, because that's probably the amount of times that they'll actually be using it, if anything. Sometimes people completely forget to use them, which is fine, but it's kind of more so the thought that counts. Let me go ahead and put in some Q-tips, because you never know what Q-tips are going to be used for. I also include a sponge for my bride, because that'll help her touch up the powder. Then the other thing I put in is a tube of lash glue. I've been using the Shop Miss A lash glue. It's a little bit more cost efficient than handing out the Kiss ones all the time. And I'm also sticking in the makeup remover wipes and then also the mints as well. And that is what the bride's touch-up kit looks like. Again, she gets more because of course she is the bride and she's also paying more for the service too. Then I'm just gonna assemble the rest of the bridal party's business card. I'm gonna go ahead and just stick in the jars. Give them a couple of doe foot applicators to touch up with, makeup remover wipe, and mints, and then that is about it. So they kind of get like all the essential things inside of there and something to take it off at night. Okay, I did all the touch-up kits. I just need to assemble them inside of my bag. I just use this top section right in here and just stick all the touch-up kits in there. I already put the bride's contract inside of here because it has the consultation sheet on what I did over the bridal preview. I always check with the bride either before the wedding or after the bridal preview if they want to make any changes to their look, just so I know actually on the wedding day. And she did request like a couple of things. They were like very minor though. And usually everybody has like some changes that they want to make after the bridal preview, which is completely fine. I totally forgot to tell you guys, I have the Rare Beauty blushes inside of my kit and I depotted all of them yesterday. I had to remove the stopper on the inside of them, and all I did was take scissors and then I almost just kind of like pried up along the sides of the stopper and it just pops off really easily. It's the same way that I depotted the Too Faced Born This Way concealers. I also made like a YouTube short and an Instagram reel and also a TikTok on it too. And then I decided to actually put them into these lip gloss containers that Mallory gave to me, and I think it's gonna work a lot better. I just am really annoyed with things that you have to open with a doe foot applicator and put on a palette and then work off of there. It just seems like an extra step to me. So I really like to be able to just squeeze them out. So I have all of the Rare Beauty blushes right here that now look like lip glosses. I also did fill up the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I was using the Milk Hydro Grip one, but the e.l.f. one works exactly the same, so I just replaced it. So it was this size originally, and then I depotted it into here, so it's just a little bit smaller. I originally put it into an airless pump container, but this thing since it sat right here, wouldn't close all the way with my bag, so I did have to transport it into a lip gloss applicator instead. But yeah, I think that all I'm gonna do now is just refill everything. Like, I have to get more cotton pads and like sponges in here and stuff. I thought that I was going to have to run to Ulta to get more lashes, but I actually do have a fully stocked lash kit. I always feel like I'm running out of lashes, but this time I actually have them. Then I'm good on mascara wands. I just refilled the Q-tips inside of here. Lip wands, I'm good. I need to refill like some of the water in here. Some of the alcohol needs refilled. Setting spray needs to be refilled. So I'm gonna be working on that for a little bit. I think I'm just gonna use the rest of the day to just like chill out and, you know, be by myself until the chaos ensues tomorrow. Oh my god, guys. It is 5:55. I just woke up, obviously. I gotta start getting ready. I have about an hour's drive, and it's gonna be the shittiest drive because it's still dark outside, and it will be until I get there pretty much. And then it's also raining. I've been driving in the rain for like the past couple of days now, and I'm just over it. I mean, I'd rather take rain than snow, but at the same time though, I'm just like, why? Okay, I totally had to get my ass in gear here, but this is pretty much what the outfit looks like. I have on the same sweater as I was wearing like 2 days ago, so no judgments. And then I just have on black leggings. I just want to be comfy for today. Have on tennis shoes, and yeah, let's get going. Okay, it's really dark, but I'm on the road. There's a lot to talk about right now, so I'm gonna spend the next 45 minutes chatting with you guys. So number one, this bride is not okay with me filming or anything, and you're gonna get brides that are like that. She even didn't want me to post her pictures for the actual bridal preview on my Instagram. So she literally just wants to be completely private, which I have to respect, obviously. I know that not everybody wants to be on such a public platform like YouTube or Instagram or something, especially if they don't have public social media pages themselves. That's the thing that you really have to respect. Like, yeah, it sucks because you're not gonna get that content and you're not gonna get those portfolio pictures, but at the same time though, you're always gonna have more clients. I know that you guys are gonna be kind of bummed because I usually film like all the applications and everything, but I just really want you guys to realize that there is a reality of doing our job. I did want to still create a realistic day in my life sort of situation, and I also am going to a new venue that I've never gone to before, so I did want to make sure I recorded it on camera. As far as the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, in general, I'm just really tired of people not being honest like during their bridal previews. Even if I physically say to people before I begin that if you don't like something, please say something to me, I'm not going to get offended, people still have stuff that they come to me afterwards about, and I don't necessarily know if it's because maybe they did like it in the bridal preview, like when they were physically there, but then the more they looked at it throughout the day, they're just like, oh yeah, like maybe I should change this, and that's completely fine. But if it is truly because the person didn't really like a certain element about the actual look that we did in the preview and then was afraid to say something, that's when it becomes a problem. I don't understand like why people think that we're gonna get so offended about it, you know? Like, we're there for them, and we overall want to have them leave our chair happy. It looks bad on us if they don't like their makeup look 100%. So I don't know why people are afraid of saying something. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, I just want like any future brides to really, I guess, realize that. I also wanted to talk about this because other makeup artists don't talk about this. Like, they don't ever talk about brides not liking bridal previews. They don't talk about the difficulty of like dealing with brides sometimes. A lot of makeup artists just think that all the bridal makeup artists out there do this perfect job and their clients are 100% happy every single time, and they think they're doing something wrong because their bride didn't like something inside of the bridal preview. But that's really not the case. Like, people just don't talk about it. If you're a makeup artist watching, just know that it's not you. It's people, one, not speaking up about things, and two, personal preferences, or three, miscommunication. I am gonna sign off here because I don't want to waste these camera batteries. That's pretty much about it. Okay, hopefully my battery lasts me long enough, but I just got a text message from the bride. She's like, my ETA is 8:59 to 9 o'clock. Guys, I'm supposed to be here at 8:15 to set up to start applications at 8:30. That means that I won't be able to start until like an hour after I'm supposed to, and that's gonna knock out like an entire application. I gave her a schedule ahead of time too. Okay, I'm heading in right now. Oh my goodness. I think somebody's here, so I'm gonna try to head in. I just don't know where exactly I'm supposed to be setting up because I don't know which one's the bridal cottage. But I was just talking on the phone to the bride and I was trying not to panic her or anything, but I'm like, just to let you know, I'm not gonna be able to finish with everybody at like 1 o'clock now. She's like, well, we're just running a little bit late. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like 30 minutes late. That cuts into an application time, so I'll just try to work as quickly as I possibly can and we'll see what's going on. This day. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye. Okay, look at how cute this bridal cottage is though. Looks like it has stuff this way, and it looks like it might have like 1 bedroom upstairs and like a loft or something. But I'm just gonna set myself up over in this corner just so I'm kind of out of the way. Okay, just giving you an overview. I wasn't exactly sure how to set myself up with this because even though this table looks like it's pretty big, it's not like all the space in the world, but luckily there's like ledges and everything. I have my silicone mat right here, trash can and thing for dirty brushes, obviously makeup kit, then brush bag, and I have some makeup remover wipes and the Lysol wipes. I also have all the touch-up kits sitting right there, as well as the bag for dirty brushes, and then some paper towels to clean up. I'm not gonna lie, guys, there's a lot of things that were going on. Like the first person that I did, just thought it was like too heavy, like on the bronzer. It was obviously just more than like her everyday. She was also a little bit older. I think she was mainly just used to her everyday kind of makeup look, and obviously you needed to be a little bit more for pictures. All the other girls were honestly like pretty good to deal with. I think the mom accepted what I did, but I don't know if she like expected something else. Okay, I got cut off because my camera battery died and I didn't have a replacement. So I'm home now. I had a very windy ass drive home. Like my car was blowing all over the road. It was so rainy. It's really crappy outside, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I think I was at the mom's application, but everybody seriously had like a flawless application. Even the bride had a really good application too, and didn't have anything to like change or whatnot. But yeah, I couldn't really tell though if the mom actually liked her makeup application, but I think she's one of those people that might be like, you're gonna make me look like 20 years younger, right? And then she doesn't realize that we're not plastic surgeons and we can't reverse like 30 years of you not doing skincare. Either that or maybe I didn't go dramatic enough. I'm not really sure, but she was one of those people that were like, yeah, do whatever. And then sometimes people don't end up liking it, but then they can't tell me what they would change. I don't know what you want from me. Then I also didn't end up doing the last person, which is the grandma, which I wasn't even upset about. She wasn't there in time. She apparently went to go get her hair and makeup done at a salon somewhere else. I was scheduled for 6 people anyways. I even got in a flower girl, and then I also ended up powdering all of the groomsmen at the very end too. So I did 2 groomsmen and the groom as well, just so they wouldn't get shiny throughout the day. Oh, and then I'm mentally slapping myself right now, and I don't even know if this is like unprofessional or not at this point in time, but I'm gonna try. I completely forgot to charge my bride the travel fee. That is $52 that I forgot to charge her, and my soul's kind of hurting right now because I mean it's like an hour away, which is 2 hours round trip. And I mean, according to the contract, like she does owe me for the $52. So I think I have every right to send her an invoice. I did send a text message to her and I was like, hey, like I totally forgot to include the travel fee in the total that I gave you for your application fee. I'll send you an invoice. Don't worry about it immediately. Like just enjoy your day. I'm gonna have to eat the cost if she doesn't pay for it, but I'm mentally slapping myself because that was a long way to drive without getting compensated for it. And this wedding took it out of me, guys. I mean, at least the bride apologized for like being late. And she was very, very apologetic about it, but it just started off the day a little bit rocky. And then also the fact that that time of the month is kind of coming up here pretty soon. I'm just overly emotional and I don't think I'm like handling situations with a clear head like I should be, because my negative Nancy is like coming out and I'm like, oh my gosh, why do I have to be like this right now? Why does this have to happen? I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited that my next wedding isn't until like 2 weeks from now because I don't know if I can handle anymore right now. I don't think you guys have ever honestly heard me complain about any of my weddings that I've filmed like ever on YouTube. I don't have any crazy like bridezilla stories. Nothing like really dramatic has happened. Maybe I'm just being a cynic right now. Oh my gosh, there's just some days where I just want to quit my job. I don't know. It's just one of those things that just kind of like sucks, you know? Again, not like my bride wasn't amazing, but then there's like the amazing bridal parties that there's no complaints. Everybody loves your work. About 99.9% of my weddings go flawlessly. Like they go very smooth. Everybody shows up on time. time. Everybody likes the makeup. There's not very many times where people actually complain about it, but the times that it does, it feels like somebody just stabbed me in the gut a little bit because I would like to have everything go smoothly. I'm sorry to end this off on a bad note. I really didn't mean to. I really thought I was gonna have like a bomb-ass wedding and just bust through this really quickly. Good morning, guys. I know this is a really awkward angle and I wasn't actually planning on filming for today. I'm just getting on my boots right now. That's what I'm doing. The saga from yesterday continues. I didn't think that it would. That's why I wasn't gonna film. I even did an outro and everything yesterday. Okay, I gotta do this quickly because my client is coming here in like 12 minutes or so. I have a bridal preview this morning. So yesterday at like 9:30 at night, I got a text message from this bride and said, I didn't get it. I could have sworn I paid you already, but she was thinking of the retainer fee that she paid me. I take 50% up front and then 50% is on the wedding day, but then she also added on my eye gels and the eye treatment. So I do 90 and 90, and then adding on the $10 is 190, but then she also owed me $52 for a travel fee. So I was trying to invoice her for the 52 because she already paid me $100 on site, right? So then she sends me screenshots of like 3 different things, right? Number one, she sends me a screenshot of the email that comes to them that you can pay the invoice through, and that was on September 15th of 2022. And all of them have like invoice numbers tied to them that I make. So that was for 90. There's another confirmation that says Julie Marie Artistry has been paid $90 on September 15th, 2022. Then she sends me a PDF version of it because you have an option after you pay the invoice to download the PDF just for your records. She didn't realize that this is like the same invoice and she thought it was 2 separate invoices, so she thought she already paid me. Then she sent me a text message afterwards. She said, so I already paid you the 190 question mark. I'm like, okay, well, even if you paid 90 and 90, that's still 180 and that's not 190. So math was a little bit off there. But then she's like, did I just get overcharged? And I'm like, no. Of course, me and like maybe a not so great headspace yesterday because I was really pissed at this point in time. I said, hi, the first invoice on September 14th, 2022 was for the retainer fee, which was 50% of the total bridal package. The remainder was due today on the wedding day for the other half. The total amount for the basic package is $180 that you owed. Then you added $10 today for the eye gels and then plus the $52 for the travel fee. Both of those you sent me are the same transaction. One is the invoice and the other is the payment receipt. Okay, I'm wasting time. I gotta set up for the bridal preview really quickly and then I will talk to you guys later about this. I finished up with the bridal preview and it absolutely amazing. The girl was so sweet. She brought her maid of honor with her and they both were really awesome to deal with. Seemed so nice. She did a very basic minimal makeup look. To kind of wanted like a no makeup kind of look. After that happened, I got a text message from my mom. She has a doctor's appointment tomorrow, which is Monday, at like 10 o'clock in the morning on my side of town. So she wanted me to spend the night with her at her house. She lives like an hour away from me. So I packed up all my stuff and I'm driving there right now. So that's currently what's happening. Anyways, back to the actual story. I kind of forget where I left off, so I might be repeating myself on some things. I think I just got past the point where the bride sent me all those messages last night thinking that I overcharged her. And then I told you guys what I responded back to her. At that point in time, I wasn't really sure if I sounded mad or unprofessional or something because I was really pissed. And it was late at night at that point in time, so I just was not having it. Like, I was totally ready for that day to be over. But in the way that I explained it though, if she actually took time to look at the pictures that she sent me and actually deep dive into what got taken out of her account at what time, she'll know that there was only one thing that I charged her for, which was for the bridal preview, so she technically still owes me the other part of it. But I woke up this morning and I was obviously more well rested and I had to get up for the bridal preview anyway, so I woke up around 6:30 this morning and I was like, $52 is a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm always gonna make it back. And it really technically is my fault for not charging her on site and not remembering to, because that is overall my job, even though I do still have the right to get it from her because that's technically what her entire balance was contracted out for. I didn't want her to be upset. I didn't want to have any sort of negative relationship between the two of us. And what people really have to keep in mind, especially if you are in business for yourself, it only takes one person to ruin your whole entire career. I mean, it can be gone like that with just like a really bad review or somebody that says bad things about your name or says that you're unprofessional. Like, you don't know how many people that those people know and who they're connected to. So I just want you guys to keep in mind that sometimes fighting over things is not worth it. So I sent her an email this morning because I hadn't heard back from her through text message, so I thought that she was just gonna ghost me and not say anything about it. And I was like, hey, I don't want any bad blood to be between the two of us. I really enjoyed working with you. So because of the fact that it is 100% my fault for not doing the travel fee on site and collecting it then and adding it into the total, I'm gonna just dismiss it. So I deleted the invoice and like told her that it was canceled. I didn't want her to go onto social media or, you know, blast me on like my Google page or something and just say that I was like the most unprofessional vendor and I tried to get money that I wasn't owed and blah blah. Like, I didn't want her to think that. I sent this email out to her, right? Literally 5 minutes after I sent that email, she then texted me and says, I'll go ahead and get that taken care of now. And at that point in time, I obviously sent it and couldn't retract anything. If I had just waited like 5 minutes longer, I could have gotten the $52. I think that she knew that, you know, she did owe me the money and probably realized that her claims were not valid. I know there are some people who would try to dupe people over and try to get as much money out of them as possible, but I'm not that person. I'm a very honest individual. I've never tried to get more money than I'm owed, and I've never tried to scam people out of their money. I understand that people work very hard for it, so I'm not going to be the type of person that does that to people. I mainly just didn't want her thinking that I scammed her out of money somehow, and that's pretty much what I was trying to do. I don't think anybody necessarily likes when people are upset, especially with them or something that they did, but especially with people who truly do care about running their own businesses, because they know that any negative thing that happens reflects upon them and you can't really deflect it onto anybody else. Like, you are representing yourself. So if you don't have a positive outlook on things and you can't get things resolved when they happen, then owning a business may not be for you, because you're gonna have to make these split-second decisions. You're probably gonna lose money along the way, but that's kind of what business is. It's about customer service, have people walk away and being happy with your services, happy with the work that you've done. I get quite a handful of people on Instagram that will run into certain situations with their clients, and it'll be a little bit of a conflict going on, and ask me how to resolve them or what I would do with them. And I'm not trying to say this like in a mean way or anything, but by you learning on how to figure this out yourself, that's going to make you a better business owner. You can ask other people for opinions about things, but when it actually comes to the final decision, please just do what feels right to you. I'm gonna tell you right now, whatever you decide may not always be the right call. Sometimes you're going to have people that are mad at you, and sometimes you're going to have situations where you're like, oh shit, like I should have, you know, done this instead of this. Just take it as a life lesson and move on. Like, I totally should have just waited for her to respond, maybe throughout like half the day or something today before I emailed her about it and just caved so quickly. But overall, I was just focused on customer happiness, and that's all I was worried about. You're gonna lose money, you're gonna make wrong decisions. That's kind of all the part of being a business owner. It's life. That is pretty much it. I'm gonna continue this 30-minute drive to my mom's house. Weather is absolutely perfect today. It's 52 degrees, sunny, and it's not windy or rainy, which means that it's going to be a lot better drive than it was yesterday. I know this video ended up on a really weird note. Hopefully you enjoyed this roller coaster of a weekend with me. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely go ahead and give me a big thumbs up, as well as also subscribing down to my channel. I do upload a ton of makeup artist related content with a few other things sprinkled in there every now and then. So if you guys enjoy that sort of content, definitely go ahead and subscribe to the channel. As always, I hope you guys are having an absolutely amazing day, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. All right, bye.